Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Delusional Daydreams podcast. I am your host, Ari Lou. Do you like the flowers? I bought them for myself. I bought these flowers the other day because it was what would have been Luke and I's 4-year anniversary. I've just been really in my feels the last couple days, like I've been the last month and a half, honestly, just processing everything. But the last couple days were really hard for me, so I stopped on the side of the road because there's been people selling flowers, and I just decided to give myself some love by doing that. I've never bought myself flowers like this before, so that was really fun. And then I ended up buying a second bouquet for my grandma just to spread the love. It just felt right. So yeah, I've got some flowers. I'm absolutely obsessed. Like, they're so pretty. Look at those. I just stare at them. Anyways, wow. For the first time in a minute, I finally feel like I've reached this point in the processing of everything, in the reflecting of everything, where I'm humbled and I'm grateful and I'm full of love and I have a lot of grace for the entire situation. I was editing one of my videos last night. It was one of the ones almost right after I found out about everything, and I'm obviously still processing and reflecting on everything. But something I don't think I've mentioned that really kind of clicked in my brain over the last couple days is I've been talking a lot about how much pain I'm experiencing through all of this betrayal, which I'm not unvalidating this. I'm not unvalidating my experience and what I'm going through finding out this information the way I found out, the way everything played out the way it did. But right now, I feel like I'm at this point of accepting that it obviously wasn't just him. Relationships are a two-way street, and I actively played a role in the demise of our relationship as well. And the biggest thing I'm coming to realize is how much pressure I put on him to not only step up to the plate for himself as far as like committing to what he wants and taking action on it and initiating those things within his life and taking time for himself to explore his passions and hobbies. I wanted him to initiate those things within himself, right? Like, I didn't always want to be the person leading in the relationship because I really wanted to surrender into my soft feminine. But by trying to do that and putting that pressure on him, I also was going through my own struggles of I knew what I needed, not only from him, but I knew what I needed from myself. There were things within myself that I needed to work on, things that I could have taken initiation on, taken action on within my life while we were together to better my internal landscape, my mindset, my confidence. And instead of taking that action upon myself, I placed all this pressure on him, for him to step up to the plate to help me, right? And that's not fair because I never took accountability for myself. So my own self-sabotaging tendencies really got in the way of my own mental landscape and becoming the person that I'm meant to become. So I felt like I just needed to come on here and say that because he really is an amazing human, and I'm sorry for doing what I did and not taking accountability for myself, because at the end of the day, I am responsible for my own happiness. I am responsible for myself through and through, just like you are responsible for yourself through and through. And I think hindsight is always 20/20, right? Like, I wish I could go back and have these breakthroughs while we were together so that I could work on myself while we are together. But that's not how it played out, and everything plays out how it's meant to play out. And I needed the separation for me to see everything clearly, to see not only what wasn't working, but areas that I need to improve in my own life. And that's really what this separation is about, was for both of us to step into ourselves fully, take accountability for ourselves, learn how to be confident with ourselves, and just fall in love with ourselves, become so whole within ourselves. And I feel like that's truly what I'm stepping into and doing. So I just wanted to say, it's not just him, it was me. And I obviously have a lot of regrets within this relationship as well. And yeah, that's just like really hard to accept, which leads me to where I've kind of settled within this whole situation, which is the grace for him on his journey and me on my journey in what we had together, and this unconditional love that I have for him, because I see him through and through. I love his soul. I love all facets of what makes him whole, the dark, the light, everything. He encompasses the humanness. And like I said, looking at him is like staring in the mirror. The unconditional love I have for him is the unconditional love I have for me. And we are on separate paths right now. And I do feel like that is destined. I don't feel like we are meant to be together right now, because there's so much learning and growing that is meant to happen. But something I can't expect is for his journey in this era of life to look like mine. I can't expect that. And I also can't judge him for doing what he needs to do to learn the things that he needs to learn to step into becoming the person he is destined to become. I can't judge that journey and what journey he's on. But I also can't play victim to feeling abandoned by him doing what he needs to do. That's not fair. Because my journey right now is about being single, being celibate, and being sober. Like, that is what I would round out this chapter of my life being: single, celibate, sober. But I can't expect that out of him, because we both have different things that we need to learn right now. We have different things we need to step into and realize about ourselves. And I think it's just this like release of having an immense amount of faith in the universe, and that all of this truly is playing out for the greater good. And deep down, I really do hope that someday, when the time is right, there will be a destined moment where our paths will cross again, when we are aligned and we are ready to step into the commitment and the vision that we've had from the beginning, to create a story that's unmatched, that's on a different level and spectrum of unconditional love and human experience. But right now, that's not our time. Will that ever happen? I don't know. But the release of him into doing what he needs to do and not judging it, and releasing myself from the pain of him doing what he needs to do, is also releasing me into my path. Because that means that my path is also going to be filled with new characters, new experiences, new learning lessons, new beginnings, to help me progress into the person I'm destined to become. And if we align again in the destiny is destined, when the time is right, we will effortlessly cross paths again. And that's where I'm at. So it's a huge release. I will always love him. I'm not upset. It still hurts, but this release has really been just kind of what I need. And that's all I can do. And it might be delusional of me to think the way I'm thinking, but it's helping me in this moment, in this transition. And it feels real, and it feels raw, and it feels vulnerable. And that's where I'm at. yeah, just unconditional love, grace, acceptance, and release into our human experiences. Because I do feel like this silence that I've gotten from him, the fact that he's trying to hide kind of what his journey is looking like right now, shows me, well, it could be two things. One, that he genuinely just doesn't give a shit about me. And he's like, nope, she doesn't deserve to know this. Like, fuck her. Or the fact that he's trying so hard to hide this from me shows that he loves me so much that he doesn't want me to find out in risk of ruining any future possibility with me, because we're that real. And in my delusional belief, I like to think the latter. I like to think that we are so real and so raw that he's doing what he needs to do, but he doesn't want me to find out in risk of losing me. But if he's watching this, if you're watching this, listening to this, I hope you know that I do know. And it's taken me a minute to get to where I'm at right now, but I will always love you. And I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for everything I've learned through our experiences together. And I just accept you as your human self, your whole self. And I'm releasing you, and there's no anger, there's no hate. Do I feel betrayed? I did. But again, it's like, I see you. I see it for what it is, and it's just time for me to release being the victim to all of this, because we are not on the same path right now, and I'm not going to keep death gripping when we're meant to be doing what we're doing. So, yeah. Leading this on, I actually, I have this like love-hate relationship with TikTok, random little tangent, but not really random, where I love creating short form content, but I also feel like at the same time, it's like hard for me to create short form content on TikTok, because I feel like it's this constant battle of trying to keep up, because it's not like evergreen content where it lasts forever. It's just like good for 3 hours and then it dies. And I don't like that feeling of constantly having to create just to keep up with the algorithm. But I've been scrolling a lot lately, and I feel like it's just been fucking with my head. So I've had to stop scrolling in my free time, kind of like really slowing down my relationship with short form content in TikTok, especially as I've gotten into this more therapeutic style of creating content through this podcast. And in doing so, I have transitioned back into watching YouTube and watching content from the creators that truly do inspire me and lift me into thinking like, wow, yes. So the last couple nights I've been watching some videos from my favorite creators, specifically single young women who are artists in their own way and are very independent and adventurous and think deeply, feel deeply, and are experiencing their experience wholeheartedly. And I just love that. And I remember watching their stuff when I was in a relationship thinking, damn, now that I'm in a serious relationship, I'll never have that time in my life to be able to search for my soul in such an intimate, independent way. Well, here I am, right? In this intimate, independent way. And sometimes when I'm not reminded of like how beautiful this part of my life can be, it can be so like painful. Like I've just been the last month and a half like reminiscing on the relationship, but watching my favorite YouTube creators and getting re-inspired by this feeling of like, wow, this has so much potential to be such a beautiful chapter in my life, to really just get me centered within myself, to experience things just so intimately with myself. And it just gave me a lot of hope for this era of my life. and really got me inspired for all the things I want to do, all the things I want to experience, all the things I want to create, all the connections I want to make. And I wouldn't have this time if things hadn't played out the way they played out, right? So again, just like that whole release of everything and stepping into this and just finding so much gratitude, because I was reminded too, you know, like when you look back at parts of your life and things in your life, connections in your life that you wanted so badly, but you got rejected or told no, or they just really did not work out. And in the moment of being rejected or being told no, it just hurt so bad. And you're like, damn it, like why? And then time passes and you look back and you're like, thank God. Thank God I was rejected. Thank God the relationship with this person didn't work out, or the housing situation here didn't work out, or these travel plans didn't work out, or that job didn't work out. Right? Like, do you ever look back on the moments that you were rejected, or better yet, protected, and think, thank God? You just needed some time to pass to realize, like, thank God. And there's so many of those moments in my life. I sat down and I journaled this morning on so many different things that I looked back on, and like in the moment of experiencing what I really wanted back then, I just remember being like, damn, like what the fuck? Why is this not working out? But I look at where I'm at today and I'm like, thank God that didn't work out. Thank God that didn't work out. Because it led me to where I'm at today, or it led me to certain experiences, certain connections. It's just like, thank God. It made me realize that, you know, this sense of rejection as far as this relationship ending in our quote unquote forever ending, and having to release this future that we spent so many years building ending, and just all of this quote unquote rejection. It's like I might not see now, but like in the future I'm gonna look back and be like, thank God things happened the way they happened, whether that be to set me off into a path of new, or that be to have me grow so that we can rekindle in the future. I know it's all working out in my favor, because everything that's led up to where I'm at right now has all ended up working in my favor. So why would I think it's going to be any different moving forward? I have to step into the faith that this is all happening for my betterment, and it's allowing me to grow, because I wouldn't have these breakthroughs, I wouldn't have this confidence, I wouldn't have this resilience, I wouldn't have this passion and excitement for life again if I hadn't have made the choice to step into this independent journey. All of this happened for a reason, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I would have stayed. But things that are meant for you will flow to you effortlessly when it is meant to flow to you effortlessly. And I'm surrendering to what is being presented to me, because the best things in my life have truly happened when I've surrendered to the now and stopped searching, stopped chasing. And that's kind of where I'm at. Just this radical acceptance of the release, feeling so much love, unconditional love, and that love being truly a mirror of loving myself. Call me crazy, but that's where I'm at. And who knows where this will lead, right? Just like I'm releasing him onto his chapter, I'm releasing myself onto my chapter, and I don't know what that's going to look like, or where that's going to lead me to, who it's going to lead me to. But I do know I've got my furry best friend right by my side through all of this, and I've got nothing but love and passion in my heart for life again. And I feel so confident in myself and being able to trust myself again. I feel like this has really been like a learning how to trust myself journey. Trusting my capabilities, my commitment, my boundaries. All these things I was lacking for so many years. I felt so lost. I felt so unconfident, self-conscious. I just felt so wrapped up and victimized in my anxiety and my fears. And it's crazy to think like where I'm at right now, like looking back at that, I'm like, wow, I really did feel that shitty about myself for so many years. And look at where I'm at today. Oh my God, what? And it's just coming up on 6 months. It's amazing what can happen in 6 months. Imagine 6 more months. Imagine a full year of this. Where will I be? Because anything can happen on any day, at any moment. Every moment is a miracle. Every breath is a miracle. And I think too about just all the things I've overcome in my life, all the struggles, all the things I've survived physically. Like the fact that I am breathing still is a goddamn testament to me being destined for so much more, because I have survived so much in my life. And to not only be breathing, but to feel so strong is just a miracle within itself. And I'm just so grateful for all of it. Grateful to keep chugging along, doing my job, becoming more financially independent, making progress, taking care of myself through and through. Yeah, just stepping into me fully. Anyways, I think that's all I have for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, month, year, eternal lifetime of experiences. Until next time, Ari Lou signing out. Peace punch, Captain Crunches. Bye.